Welcome friends to my channel. I'm Eliza Book and today we're going to be making some delicious and nutritious lunches that are really easy to make and pretty affordable, so anyone can make them. You can make them the day before or even a few days beforehand, and then you can whip them up whenever you need.
The first easy vegan lunch that we'll be making today is a roast capsicum pasta. You'll first have to preheat the oven to about 180 degrees Celsius. Then you'll need at least 2 capsicums. I'm going to use some old capsicums today, and as you can see, they're very wrinkly and quite old and do need using. You can use any sort of vegetables that you'd like. I'm also going to use some tomatoes that I've got left in the fridge. So all these vegetables that we have chosen to put into our capsicum pasta, we're just going to cut them up into large chunky pieces because they will be going in the oven. Next, I'm going to grab about half a bunch of basil, or you could say approximately 1 cup of basil that I'm going to finely chop up and add to my mixture of chopped vegetables. I absolutely adore fresh basil and highly recommend it in any recipes that do use basil. It's so much better than the dried stuff. Once that's all chopped, chuck it into a bowl and we're going to add the spices. First up, I'm going to add in about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, about a teaspoon of salt, 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of paprika, and a few grinds of pepper. And lastly, about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, or just a dash, whatever you need to just coat all of those vegetables and those spices in. Now I'm just going to gently massage it in with my hands, just so everything's well mixed and well coated. I'll then lay it on a lined baking tray and spread them out so that they're fairly even, but I wouldn't be too fussy about it. Then we'll pop it in the oven for about 15 minutes. While that's in the oven, fill a pot halfway with water, add about a teaspoon of salt. Once it's boiling, add about 200 grams of pasta and turn the heat down to about medium heat and cook until they're just a little bit al dente. By the time your pasta is finished, your roast vegetables are probably finished. Just take those out of the oven. Divide the roast veggies in half and add 1/2 to a food processor. I add another cup of basil. Pour in about 1/4 cup of soy milk, the juice of 1/2 lemon, and blend that up until it is the consistency that you prefer. I like mine to be quite smooth. Once it's to the consistency that you like, add your pasta to your bowls. Place the 1/2 of roast vegetables that you haven't used yet on top of the pasta. Then pour your sauce over the top and enjoy. This is one of my favorite easy vegan lunches or even dinners because you can use your carrots out of your fridge, you can use old capsicums, old tomatoes, even zucchini if you really want, and it just tastes amazing. The second easy vegan lunch recipe that we'll be making today is a sun-dried tomato almond pesto sandwich. First, you'll need about 1 cup of sun-dried tomatoes added into a food processor. Also add about 1/2 cup of the oil from the jar of sun-dried tomatoes. Then add a cup of raw almonds, a tablespoon of nutritional yeast flakes, about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a few grinds of pepper, or 1/4 teaspoon if you want to be specific. 1 cup of basil.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's a little unrealistic, babe.
I got it. It's just... Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, so we can do this.
Once all the ingredients are in the food processor, Process this until you have a pesto consistency that you really like. I tend to like a little bit chunkier pesto, where it can actually get a little chunk of almond or a little bit of sun-dried tomato, because I really like that on my sandwiches. But just blend it a little bit longer if you want it a bit smoother. Add a little bit more oil if you want it to be a little bit creamier. And that is how you make your pesto. It's really easy, really simple. I just like to put it on a sandwich because I find that it tastes the best that way, but you can use it however you like. For the pesto sandwich, I'll need 2 bread buns, a ripe half an avocado, a few teaspoons of nuttlex, which is a vegan butter that's very affordable and you can find it at most stores. I like to spread a generous amount of pesto onto my sandwiches because it is just so good. I then like to add about a half a cup of spinach to each bread bun. I sometimes add kale to this as well. Then I just top it off with some avocado slices. It just makes this recipe and it is an easy and delicious lunch. I love it so much. The pesto also easily stores in an airtight container in the fridge up to a week.
So that's it for today's video. I hope you really enjoyed it. We've made 2 delicious lunches that you can use any day of the week, and you can make them beforehand. I often have my pesto in the fridge ready to go at a moment's notice, and I just love it so much. I try and make it a little bit less because I don't want to get sick of it by having it too often. So thank you for watching today's video. The second part of this video will be uploading soon in the next few days or so. Please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching today's video. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and drop a comment if there's anything else you want me to make or any recommendations that you guys have for me. So thank you again. Bye. There's a single piece of a different How?